I am tired of not wanting to take pictures because I do not like how I look. I'm tired of continuing to feel like I'm just bigger than everyone around me. I'm tired of not wanting to wear the clothes that I want to wear because they don't fit right or I don't like how I look in them. I'm just really tired. Hi everyone, my name is Talia and welcome to my channel. Before we dive in today, I do just want to give a warning that I'm going to be talking about weight loss and body image struggles. So if that is triggering for you, please feel free to click out of this video and go catch up on some of my other New Year reset content. I also just want to give a disclaimer that I am not a doctor and I am not a nutritionist. I'm just here to share my personal journey in hopes that it can help someone else on their own. To the girl who spent hours on the field pushing her body to its limits, I see your strength and your drive. To the young woman who celebrated with friends, cared for others, and sometimes forgot to care for herself, I honor your resilience. To the version of me who stood in front of the mirror and struggled to recognize herself, I want you to know you're still worthy, still beautiful, still enough. Every version of me has carried me here. Through triumphs, heartbreak, and change, you've been my constant companion. And today, I choose to love you enough to grow, not out of hate, but out of gratitude and love. So what made me realize that I hated my body? So after I graduated college in 2020, I actually moved to LA for a year and worked in the NFL. So I was still pretty active post-grad, but it was after I decided to come back home to the Midwest and I got a work from home job. I went from being pretty active daily to sitting at a desk looking at a screen for 8 hours a day, and then I would get done working and then I would sit on the couch and watch TV for more hours until I went to bed. So at the end of 2023, I found myself having gained the most weight I had ever gained, and I decided that I wanted to try out this program called She-Trition by a nutritionist. I think her name is Chantel, that I found on Instagram. And so I joined her program just to try it out because I felt like, you know what, let me figure out something. And so in her program, before she has you do anything for weight loss, she really has you reflect on your relationship with food and your relationship with your body. So as I was doing these reflections in the program, I just came to the realization that I had so many negative thoughts about my body and my relationship with food. I keep journals, I keep notes, I like to write things down. It just helps me really process. And while I was doing these prompts, I had went back to look at some of my journal entries and I realized I was telling myself things like, I don't like my body, you're so fat. Like I was saying the most negative things that I could possibly say to myself about myself. And when I was doing one of her lessons, the real epiphany for me was when Chantel broke down the definition of what a belief is. And I have it pulled up so that I can read it to you guys. But the definition of belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. And I remember literally being outside going on my walk as I was listening to her talk about this. And I just had an epiphany of, holy shit, like, we think just because we believe something that it is true. But based on the definition of belief, that is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. It's not actually a fact. And a fact is defined as something that is proved to be true. And so it was in that moment, I was just like, oh my God, you are accepting these negative things about your body. You're accepting these negative things about yourself. And so I just had to take a moment and really come to terms with the fact of you are accepting this. It's not necessarily true. You are just accepting it. And so I talk about this a little bit in my New Year reset for manifesting your goals that I posted earlier this month. But something that I have really learned in 2024 and that builds on the epiphany that I had in 2023 when I was doing Chantel's program is the transformation really lies within the awareness. I'll say it again and I'll keep saying it. You cannot change anything that you are not aware of. And so for 25 years, basically going on 26 years, we'll say 24, because I think I would have been 25 around the time that I was doing the program. you cannot change anything that you are unaware of. And for 25 years, basically, I was allowing these negative thoughts about my body, these negative thoughts about myself, these negative thoughts about my relationship with food drive every single decision that I was making and the things that I was doing. And I was so unaware of it. I had no idea that so many external factors, such as people making comments about my body, was really impacting me. I had no idea that the way that I was speaking to myself was making me feel worse and not actually empowering me to go and do something about it. And so I say all of that to say that those thoughts can definitely get you stuck within the negative loop of where you feel bad about your body, so you keep eating bad, and then you keep eating bad, which then makes you feel worse. So then because you feel worse, you continue to do these bad habits over and over and over and over, and then you're stuck in the game of shame, embarrassment, and guilt, and it just continues on and on and on, and then you feel like you can't do anything because you are so defeated. So that's why I wanted to make today's video. Originally, when I was planning, I thought about sharing some tips for weight loss in the new year, but then I realized no one really unpacks, one, the shame of gaining weight, the shame and embarrassment that you have when you gain a ton of weight. Secondly, how defeating it can feel to actually get the weight off. There's this anxiety of, okay, I got the weight off, but can I actually keep it off? Like, is this sustainable? And then the fact that what we believe about our bodies and what we believe about food actually are so important to the decisions and the things that we do every single day. And I understand it's a new year and we all have goals in 2025, myself included. But I just wanted to take a moment to say that sometimes the emotional weight of gaining weight is so much heavier than the physical pounds that you gain on the scale. And that can be so defeating. And I just want to take a moment to validate people who may be feeling that way, because I have been feeling that way probably for years now. Like, I have felt that so much, and it has caused me to not do anything. And so if you are in a similar position, or if you are feeling the same way, I just want to validate you and say that we're all trying to figure this out, and we all deserve to holistically love ourselves. And I really feel like that includes our physical bodies. So now that it's 2025, what am I actually going to do about this? And so I'll be honest with you guys, even after realizing transformation lies in awareness and doing this program for a little bit, I still have found myself stuck in that negative feedback loop that we were just talking about. But this past December, as in like a month ago, I realized that it is okay for you to feel embarrassment and shame and guilt about the weight gain that you have had. But on the other side of that, I truly have to give myself grace, because I was just so unaware of all the emotional attachments and things that were driving my behaviors. Like, at the end of the day, if I wasn't aware of it, I have to give myself some grace. And it's been happening for like 2 decades, and 2 decades is a really long time. So it's not just gonna take one day, 1 week, or 1 month to really work on that and get better at it. And so I just realized being okay with that and also giving myself grace was the very first thing that I had to do. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I gained the weight. I gained it. Like, I did. And that's just where I am right now. But at the same time, I do not have to hate my body to try and make changes, because if I haven't learned anything, it's that hating your body is never going to sustain any of the healthy habits that I want to have. It's coming from a place of self-compassion. It's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of care. Those are the things that are going to help me make the changes that I want to make and be sustainable with them. One of the things that I am trying to be so intentional about in 2025, as I am working daily on trying to reframe my thoughts about my body and my relationship with food from ones of hate to ones of love, is practicing gratitude. I kid you guys not, I literally the other week was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that just because I've gained this weight, it does not mean I have to keep it. There's no law. I didn't sign a contract. There's no one looking over me like, you gained all this weight, you have to keep it. Like, I'm so grateful that even though I found myself in a difficult situation and I've gained weight and I'm not where I want to be, I do not have to keep that weight. Another thing that I'm really grateful about is the fact that even though I haven't had the healthiest of habits and I'm putting my body under more stress than I would like it to be, my body still functions. It may not be optimally, but like, I can still talk, I can still move, like my brain still functions. There's just so many things that my body does without me even thinking about it. And the fact that I am putting it under more stress than I would like, and it still shows up every single day for me and does those things, like, that's something to be grateful for. That's something to appreciate. And even within like the last 4.5 weeks of me just really trying to be grateful and appreciate my body through that lens of gratitude, I kid you not, it has wanted me to show up for my body and treat it better. I want to be more mindful of what I'm putting in my body. I want to be more mindful of the products that I'm using on my skin. I want to be more mindful of, okay, let's prioritize rest and recovery days. Let's try cupping. Let's try the chiropractor. And that shift started to happen as I started to be more grateful for my body and the things that it does for me and how it shows up for me every single day, despite where I am currently and despite the fact that I may not be in the best shape of my life. I may not have all of the healthy habits that I want to have. Another thing that I'm doing in 2025 is getting present and listening to my body. We all live in our bodies every single day, and our bodies are constantly giving us signals. And if you're like me, if you're a little bit hard-headed and you don't listen, you are ignoring those signals. Y'all, last January, I sprained my ankle. Until this day, to this day, I still have my ankle swelling up when I try and do a treadmill workout. 2023, I was trying to be the 12-3-30 girl. I love Lauren Dorado. I love that workout. But I tweaked my ankle and then I ended up in a boot. And ever since then, I cannot do 12-3-30. It just makes my ankle swell up. And so despite my ankle swelling up, y'all, I kept trying to do the treadmill workout. I kept trying to do it. And my ankle literally kept telling me, go sit your ass down. You don't need to be on the treadmill. You don't need to be doing intense cardio. And I would be pushing back, being hard-headed, not listening. It wasn't until finally I was like, okay, my body, my ankle is literally telling me, sit down, don't do this treadmill workout. But I still want to be active. I still want to be moving. So I was like, okay, let me get a bike. I decided to buy a bike because I'm like, it's low impact. I should be able to do it. Not only did I enjoy the bike way more than being on the treadmill, I got to go outside and be in nature. I got to listen to my music. My ankle didn't swell up. My ankle didn't swell up. She was like, you finally listened to me. Thank you. Thank you for listening. And I was just like, wow, like, I'm trying to do the most and like ignore all the signals that my body is telling me. And every time I ignore them, she keeps swelling up and I end up having to sit down anyway and I can't work out. Like, just listen to what your body is telling you. Even from the lens of food. Like, I'm trying to be more intentional in 2025 of like chewing and chewing slowly, because I will scarf down my food without even tasting. The seasonings are the things that I'm eating because I'm just eating so fast. Like, just getting more aware of like, what does this spice taste like in this food when I'm eating it? Or also really trying to make sure I'm just slowing down and taking the time to say, okay, I just ate this, but this doesn't really sit well in my stomach. So maybe I shouldn't eat that. Or, this felt good. So maybe I should keep eating this because I feel light and healthy after I eat it. Like, listening to my hunger cues. I can't tell you guys how many times I have just kept eating even though I feel my body telling me that I am full. And then at the end of the night, I end up sick and miserable because I can't lay down because I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I can't sit up because I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And then I'm just like unhappy the whole entire night because I have eaten so much and ignored every single cue that my body has given to me that you are full and you need to stop eating. So if I don't do anything in 2025. Like, I really want to make sure I'm reframing my thoughts from ones of hate to ones of love. And I just want to get aware and present in my body and listen to her. Like, going back to what I just said, our bodies do so many things without us thinking about it. My body knows best. She knows what's best for me. And I need to listen to her when she is giving me signals and telling me things. So if I could encourage you to take anything away from this video, I definitely encourage you to do those two things. Get aware and listen to your body, and reframe your thoughts from ones of hate to ones of love. The last thing that I want to share in today's video, because I don't want this to get too long, is that in 2025, on this journey of learning to love my body, I've decided that I'm keeping things simple. And your girl's gonna have some fun. I am no longer a collegiate athlete. I don't need to work out 6 to 7 days a week. I don't need to do 2 to 2.5 hour long workouts. They don't have to be like, I'm just not there anymore. I'm no longer an 18-year-old student athlete. I'm a grown woman, and that is not the lifestyle that I am living. Neither is wrong, but that's just not where I am. So we're gonna keep things simple, and we're gonna keep things fun. I've decided I wanna try tons of new workout classes. I wanna do hot yoga. I also tasked myself with, I really want to build back up my ankle strength so that by the end of the year / going into 2026, I can run a 5K. I wanna get back into running. I also really want to prioritize my rest and my recovery days. So I want to try stuff like cryotherapy or red light therapy. I want to get massages. Like, I just want to have so much fun pouring into myself and my own health journey, and not feeling so much pressure of being focused on the scale and constantly losing weight. Like, I think that's important, and that's a way that I like to keep myself accountable, but I don't want that to be like the only thing that I do. I want to have fun making TikTok recipes. If you have not tried a TikTok recipe, you need to try one. Every single TikTok recipe that I have tried has been a 10 out of 10. In my next video, I'm actually gonna do a what I eat in the day, and I'm gonna make a seafood boil that I found on TikTok. Girl, good. But tangent, but all of that to say, I just want to keep things simple, and I just want to keep things fun. So if you're on the same journey as me, just find the things that sound fun with you. If you need a gym buddy or someone to go to workout classes with, then do that. This is your own journey, so make it fun and do the things that you need to keep you excited, and then it's going to make this way more sustainable. So I know I shared a lot today, but to sum everything up that I said, I just want to say, in theory, losing weight is so simple. We literally just need to burn more calories than we eat, and the weight will come off like that. But for some of us, it is way more difficult than that, and the emotional weight that we can carry can leave us to be frozen and left in a place of inaction. However, we all deserve to love our bodies and feel good about ourselves. If you're wondering where you should start in 2025, I suggest 1, get aware of the emotional weight that you are carrying. 2, accept it for what it is. You are where you are, but then decide what you're gonna actually do about it. And then once you decide what you're going to do about it, just take it day by day. And if the day feels like too much, take it hour by hour. And if an hour feels like too much, take it minute by minute. And if that feels too much, take it second by second. A journey like this is hardly ever linear. So remember to give yourself some grace and self-compassion, and reset with love as many times as you need. So that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I yapped a lot today, but I'm hopeful that you are able to take something from the things that I shared and my own personal journey that I am continuing to learn and unlearn from. I'm super grateful to have you here, and I also just want to say, if you are still not feeling ready to take your first step, girl, that's fine. When you are ready, you will take that first step. And I hope that today I at least validated some of the things that you've been feeling. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.